You know, when people hear the word asterisk, Kamasutra asterisk, they usually picture a bunch of complicated poses that look more like a yoga challenge than intimacy. But that's not what it's really about, not even close. The true essence of the Kamasutra isn't about how flexible your body is. It's about how connected your mind and heart are with another person. It's not a manual for the bedroom, it's a philosophy for asterisk, living asterisk, and especially for loving. When I first started exploring what makes relationships thrive, not just sexually, but emotionally, I realized something powerful. Good sex doesn't start in the body, it starts in the brain. The Kamasutra understood that centuries ago. It talks about pleasure, yes, but it frames it within a deep sense of respect, awareness, and balance. It's about knowing yourself, understanding your partner, and creating harmony between the two. That's what makes intimacy truly magnetic, not the technique, but the connection. Think about it. You can know every position in the book, but if there's no emotional presence, if there's no curiosity, no shared energy, it's empty. The Kamasutra reminds us that intimacy is an art of being asterisk present asterisk. It invites us to slow down, to listen, to look not just with our eyes, but with our whole being. When you actually asterisk, see asterisk your partner, when you feel them, not just touch them, that's when sex becomes transformative. It's not just pleasure, it's communication without words. So many of us approach intimacy with this unspoken performance pressure. Asterisk, am I doing this right? Do they like this? Am I enough? Asterisk. And when our focus shifts to performing rather than connecting, we lose the very thing that makes intimacy special: authenticity. The Kamasutra teaches us to drop that performance, to be real, to explore without judgment, to be curious rather than perfect. That's what makes sex hotter, when both people can be fully themselves, unfiltered, unafraid. What's also fascinating is that the Kamasutra doesn't separate sex from the rest of life. It sees pleasure as part of overall well-being, just like food, music, beauty, or art. It encourages cultivating sensual awareness in everything you do, the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you notice the world around you. Because when you learn to live with that kind of mindfulness, it naturally flows into your intimacy. You stop treating sex as an act and start experiencing it as a form of connection, physical, emotional, even spiritual. So when I say better, hotter sex, I'm not talking about something flashy or performative. I'm talking about something asterisk, deeper asterisk, the kind of passion that comes from two people being fully present, fully awake, and fully seen. When you shift your focus from positions to presence, from technique to tenderness, everything changes. The body follows where the connection leads. And that's the secret the Kamasutra has been whispering for centuries. The hottest sex isn't about the body at all. It's about being truly asterisk their asterisk with someone, moment by moment. Let's talk about communication, the real aphrodisiac that no one talks about enough. Most people think great sex happens when there's chemistry, attraction, or maybe a bit of mystery. But the truth is, none of that lasts without communication. Real intimacy, the kind that feels electric and alive, starts long before anything physical happens. It begins with how you talk to each other, how safe you make each other feel, and how willing you are to actually asterisk listen asterisk. The Kamasutra, at its core, is a book about connection, and that includes how we communicate. It emphasizes that pleasure isn't something you asterisk do asterisk to your partner. It's something you asterisk create together asterisk. And you can't create together without being open, honest, and curious. Think about it. How can you possibly know what your partner wants, needs, or enjoys if you never talk about it? So many couples spend years together but never have a real conversation about sex. They assume, they guess, or they avoid the topic altogether because it feels uncomfortable. But what happens when you start to really talk is that everything opens up. Communication in intimacy isn't about interrogation, it's about exploration. It's asking with genuine curiosity, what makes you feel most connected, what turns you on emotionally, what makes you feel safe, and it's just as much about listening as it is about speaking. When someone feels heard, they relax. They open up, that's when trust deepens, and that's when passion naturally follows. Here's the thing, silence breeds misunderstanding, and misunderstanding breeds distance. You can't have hotter sex if you're emotionally disconnected or afraid of being honest. The Kamasutra teaches that words can be as sensual as touch. It encourages lovers to express affection, appreciation, and desire openly. Compliment your partner. Tell them what you love about the way they touch you, the way they look at you, the way they make you feel. That kind of verbal connection builds anticipation, and anticipation is one of the most powerful forms of arousal. But communication isn't just verbal, it's also energetic. It's about paying attention to body language, tone, rhythm, and unspoken cues. It's about knowing when to ask, when to pause, and when to simply be quiet and feel asterisk. The more you tune into your partner's responses, their breath, their movement, their emotion, the deeper your understanding becomes. And that understanding builds trust, the foundation of true intimacy. We often think talking about sex kills the mood, but it's actually the opposite. It keeps the spark alive because it reminds both partners that they are in this together, learning, growing, discovering. Communication turns sex from a routine into a shared adventure. So when it comes to having better, hotter sex, remember this. Passion doesn't start with the body. It starts with a conversation, one built on honesty, curiosity, and care. Because the sexiest thing you can ever say to your partner isn't a line from a movie. It's the truth spoken with love and presence. Let's shift gears and talk about something most people completely overlook, the power of sensual mindfulness. This is where the Kamasutra gets beautifully deep. It's not just about what you do, it's about how you do it, the quality of your attention, your awareness, your ability to be fully present in every moment. Because here's the secret, better sex isn't about doing more, it's about feeling more. In our modern world, everything moves fast. We rush through our days, our meals, our conversations, even our intimacy. We're distracted, thinking about the next thing instead of the now. But the Kamasutra teaches something radically different. It invites us to slow down, to breathe, to feel, to notice. It's about tuning into every sense, every heartbeat, every inhale and exhale, until the whole experience becomes something richer and more meaningful. Sensual mindfulness is the art of presence. It's the difference between touching and feeling between looking and seeing. When you're fully present with your partner, when you feel their skin, their warmth, their energy, everything deepens. You stop worrying about how you look or what's next, and you start existing in that moment of connection. That's where real pleasure lies. It's not in chasing intensity, it's in surrendering to awareness. Let's talk about something that often gets ignored when people think about great sex, the moments outside the bedroom. The truth is, better, hotter sex doesn't begin when the lights go off. It begins in the way you live your everyday life. The Kamasutra understood that deeply. It's not just a guide to physical intimacy, it's a guide to living beautifully, to cultivating energy, attraction, and connection in everything you do. We tend to think of desire as something spontaneous, like it either happens or it doesn't. But in reality, desire is something you create nurture, and sustain. It's built through small, intentional acts of connection. The Kamasutra teaches that pleasure is woven into the art of living, in how you speak to your partner, how you touch them in passing, how you look at them, how you see them even when you're not. Being physical, every moment can feed intimacy if you treat it with care and attention. Think about it. How often do we expect to feel passion after a long day of stress, distraction, or emotional distance? It's nearly impossible. You can't flip a switch at night if you've been disconnected all day. The real secret to better sex is building connection outside of those moments through kindness, curiosity, humor, affection, and yes, even playfulness. That's what the Kamasutra meant when it said the lover's energy should flow through every part of their life. It's not just about what happens in bed, it's about how you live and love everywhere else. And this doesn't mean grand gestures or constant romance. Sometimes it's as simple as a thoughtful compliment, a lingering hug, a shared laugh. It's the way you check in with your partner, the way you make them feel seen and appreciated. Those moments build safety and trust is what allows desire to flourish. When your partner feels emotionally secure, they can open up, explore, and express freely. That's when sex becomes not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. There's also a part of the Kamasutra that emphasizes self-care, the idea that to give pleasure, you must feel pleasure in your own life. It encourages you to cultivate your senses, to appreciate beauty, to nourish your body and spirit. When you take care of yourself, you bring more energy, confidence, and presence into your relationships. Desire grows naturally from that vitality. So, if you want a relationship filled with passion, start by making every day a little more sensual. Cook together, dance in the kitchen, laugh more, compliment each other, take care of yourselves. Let your whole life become a form of foreplay, one where attraction isn't forced, it's sustained. Because at the end of the day, the Kamasutra reminds us that great sex isn't a separate part of life, it's a reflection of it. When you live with attention, kindness, and curiosity, desire stops being something you chase. It becomes something you embody. And this is something both ancient wisdom and modern science agree on. Your brain is your biggest sex organ. When your mind is calm and focused, your body responds differently. You feel more, you connect more, and you let go more easily. That's what the Kamasutra meant by merging body and spirit. It's not mystical, it's practical. When your attention is unified, so is your pleasure. The practice of sensual mindfulness doesn't begin in the bedroom. It starts with how you live. It's in the way you eat slowly, tasting every bite, the way you breathe deeply, intentionally, the way you notice sunlight on your skin, or the way your partner smiles. When you train your mind to be present in daily life, you naturally bring that presence into intimacy. You stop performing and start experiencing. And what's truly beautiful about this idea is that it makes intimacy accessible to everyone. You don't have to look a certain way or do anything elaborate. You just have to be there. The most passionate moments often happen in stillness, a quiet gaze, a soft breath, a heartbeat in sync. That's where the magic lives. So when we talk about hotter sex, maybe what we're really talking about is deeper awareness . The Kamasutra reminds us that pleasure isn't something you take. It's something you create together through attention and presence. When you slow down enough to actually really feel every touch, every whisper, every breath, you realize that the most powerful intimacy isn't about more stimulation. It's about more awareness. Because in the end, the hottest thing you can bring to bed isn't a new move, it's your undivided presence.